Hey everyone, back again, and yes, I am a giant floating head because my neighbors got me a Pagosa Springs, Colorado t-shirt with a big old moose on it in my favorite color, which is freaking green. I mean, green controllers, green freaking phone cases, and eyeglass cases. And I've got my green camping cutlery case, and green. Yes, green. And it's one of those things. Like, I wasn't thinking when I put on the shirt, hey, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to do a video. I'm going to do a video today. That's what we're going to do. But yeah, so I wanted to do a Project Fear video because, one, I love Project Fear. I love it. And, her doing this and being preggers and all that stuff, fantastic. Nothing like getting the blood pumping to, make that kid come out super strong. But, yeah. It's some crazy stuff. Yeah, I set up a thing to be able to use one of my microphones, my good microphones. I was going to set that up and be able to use it with my actual cell phone, and this little dooflicky. It's got the 3.5 and a charger jack on it. This is supposed to be a TRRS, and it's not. It's just a regular TS, and that just means that it can only be headphones in monotone. This is not a stereo jack. Even though the little picture on it shows headphones with the mouthpiece and everything, it does not support it, and it frustrates me because this was $20 freaking. So that really ticks me off. But I digress. Update: the crazy guy at the corner. He's kind of, sort of, leaving me and the other people alone, but from what I understand, he was told that if he does anything to harass us at all, he's going to be arrested. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. He's going to be arrested and taken to the local jail to await trial, because he's had one too many fights, apparently, and this last time, the 5 people, me and the other 4, was pretty much enough. So he's not going to be bugging anybody, at least for a little bit. He was threatening to sue me for macing him, but he's already in a plea deal thing with the prosecutor for his disorderly conduct when he attacked the woman that I had to mace him for. So if he sues me for me macing him, but he pleads guilty to attacking her, then he's telling the courts that I was justified in my actions, and therefore he'd lose instantly. And at that point, it's just, it'd be me like, okay, I'm going to countersue him for wasting my time. And things never end. Medical updates, lacerations of the ulnar and major nerves in both arms, shoulder, elbow, which is affecting everything all the way down to my hands. My left hand, every now and then I'll pinch the nerve, and from the elbow to fingertips, my skin basically believes that I had the worst sunburn in the world, and it's just my whole arm turns beet red, and it's on fire, and I have to take nerve deadening medication that makes me drowsy and vomit. So, yay me. But the nerve damage in my right hand, every now and then I will basically lose these 3 fingers as well as these 3 fingers, and it is they said it was the ulnar nerve that does that, but when I look it up, the ulnar nerve is like these 2 fingers and the median nerve is these 3 fingers. So I don't know what's going on, but they just know that I basically have tennis elbow, golf elbow, and some other thing going on in both arms. And it's like, when I screw up big time. I don't pull muscles in one arm, I pull them in both. Just got to make it even. And it's one stress after another. It really is. I still waiting for word back from the Social Security Department, because happened at work while working, and it was a job related issue, so that falls under Social Security disability insurance as well as workman's comp. And I've got 3 days until I go to my next doctor's appointment for this side, and I'm going to be seeing about getting MRIs done. I mean, hell, they've ordered MRIs of my elbows, my shoulders, my neck, my middle back, and my chest, and every time insurance is like, no, nuh-uh, you have to go to your primary care and get that done through primary care. It's like, okay, I'm in the ER. I'm here for an emergency. It's covered as long as it's under an emergency. And they're like, well, it's technically not an emergency because this is an outpatient deal. We're going to see you, we're going to treat you, we're going to get you out. Okay, but the problem persists, and it's like, I spent 3 days in agony, and they're like, yeah, we gave you a shot in each arm and gave you pills. You can leave. It'll wear off, but by the time it wears off, the pills will kick in just enough to let you sleep at night. Yeah, modern medicine. But let's get into this with the haunted Margam Castle. Not that button. Not that button. This button. Thank you. Again, Project Fear. Haunted Margam Castle. Something went wrong. Ooh.
I don't know where we can even go from here. Like, what do we do?
Whoa! Yo!
Alex! I don't know what just happened.
No! Dude, my Rocky's dead.
Oh my god! I saw something above her head.
Where are you? We're coming!
I'd love to do solo. I'd love doing a solo. I mean, that's freaking fantastic. Everybody's like, oh my god, I'm terrified, I'm terrified. It's like, yeah, terrified, but it's absolutely amazing fun.
Oh my god, I could be the king. There was never a king here. There was never even a king. Claim it. It's great. Let's go. This is going to be a good night. I feel like I'm in a nightmare right now with you three.
All right, Al. Well, good luck.
We get doing this?
Let's get doing this.
This is great. Really great.
Amazing.
All right, Al. Good luck. You look
great.
You look
Do I
nice
look
and
ready?
kitted out. Got the backpack full of gear.
Do I look like I'm ready to go hunt a ghost or two?
Oh, two, maybe even 20.
There might be several.
Well, you have a walkie.
No.
That's one thing we do.
You have everything except your walkie.
Do I have a walkie?
Yeah. All right, Al. We'll be at the chapter house like a half a mile away.
Okay. Well,
Alright, here we go. Oh, my hat.
Oh, okay. It's a little cold. All right.
that sounded like something being dragged across the floor. People see a lot of shadow figures, hear a lot of noises. What the f was that? I know right up there in that area, that's the section that has tapestry room and the master bedroom. Dude, what the fuck is happening? And by the way, no words have come through yet. I'm just hearing noises all around me. If there's anyone here, you can come have a conversation with me. Shy. You don't have to be shy.
Now, yes, it is an old castle, and wind and drafts and such could be there, but again, if no sounds are made and whatnot, and the rest of the team's outside, and it's not windy or anything, there's not big gusts of wind, it's not storming, and it's a castle / museum, so they're not going to leave windows open so that stuff gets knocked over in the breeze. But as he said, that's the PS device, and he asked a question, hey, if anybody's around and you want to talk, you can use this. And the first thing that pops up is shy, and your mind is going to go, oh, they don't want to talk because they're shy. That's a complete correlation. That he asked a question and they answered, and that's where you have to put on your critical thinking hat and not your everything is haunted, that light bulb is haunted, that pencil's haunted, the banister's haunted, the tile 3 in from the door and second on the left is haunted. You really have to do critical thinking here. You have to. Not everything is haunted, and this device, it goes off of frequencies, and frequencies change with the breeze, static electricity. If you're moving around a lot, you're charging your personal area with static, and this device can read that. It senses it, so it could just be that he's moving around a lot and creating static, and that's what it's reading.
You can come down here pretty
Property.
Property. Robert Scott was the gamekeeper here, and he died on this property. He was murdered in cold blood on this property from a poacher. If that isn't validating right there, I don't know what is.
I mean,
Man, this is
property, it could mean a million things. Going from the word property to being like, oh, somebody was murdered on this property, this is what happened to them, so that means it's like, okay, if you're there at a haunted location, yes, of course, somebody died there, that's why it's haunted. That's the main thing. Now, if it said his first name or his last name or groundskeeper, then I would draw that line. But saying property, that to me is not, jumping to anything for me. That's not how I roll. It's property. Okay. What about the property? What? Give more. Can you give more? Can you tell me more? Just going property and then me just rambling off a whole bunch of things to try and, make that one word mean something. It really takes away from, being an actual paranormal investigator when you're trying to lead the thoughts to a specific point. I mean, you're just grabbing people by the nose and just leading them along. It's not what we're here for.
Far away.
Oh, yeah.
So here's the tapestry room. This is where people see a lot of...
It's a good room because every step the floor creaks. That means if you go in and you're, at the back wall or at a corner or something, and you're doing, all kinds of, EVP work or work, then anybody that walks in makes a noise every step they take. So nobody can sneak up on you.
light anomalies, like flashes of lights, different colored balls of lights just shooting through the room.
You get?
So far, you've got, a pretty decent thing. See and observe, they tie together. Solo, I mean, they've got somebody that's solo, but it started with the word shoot. Shoot, solo, see, observe, disaster. That is where, like, you're in an abbey. Somebody was shot there. Now, the story is that the guy got murdered, but was it an actual murder or was it suicide? Because you're going with stories over time, and then you have the whole ordeal of the monk. What happened to the monk? But having, see and observe come one after another, that lends more credibility because it's using the same different words to explain the same thing, and that's what you're looking for. You're looking for that the connection that is obvious, not the you're at an abbey and it pops up pork rinds and it's like, oh my god, we just had lunch the other day. Are they telling us that that's what they want us to have now? It's like, well, hold on. You need more information. Math isn't just putting down one number. You've got to have one number, a symbol, and then another number. And that's how you get from here to here. You got to add things up first.
Turn to one of the other areas outside.
Okay, so now we have connections. Shoot, solo, see, observe, disaster, outside, return. I mean, now it's picking up pace. You're getting somewhere. Or is it telling them that something is going to happen at the solo and that they need to return because there is a problem? Now you're collecting the data points. You don't run with one. You don't run with two. You got to get a little bit more.
Problem.
There's a problem? Okay, we got quickly return and then problem.
I don't want to panic and call hysteria, but I'm a little worried.
is now with these sweeping radios. I have a couple of them, and you can hear this one, boom, 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 boom. That Theodore came across 3 channels. It wasn't. You could hear door, duh. Like you could hear the actual break when it's sweeping different channels. So it came through Theodore. And if you're going from channel to channel to channel, it's going to sweep. And there's some radio stations where the couple channels before like if you're like 101.1, but 100 and then 101 have, kind of the staticky version of 101.1. It's the same thing, but there was no static. It just came through Theodore. And you're not going to get that sequence in the radio frequencies as it's changing. There's going to be 2 that are going to be static and 1 that's going to be clear. Okay, that was... No? Wait, maybe.
The furniture like being drug across the floor.
Okay, so there's this little beam of light right here, and next to it on this side right here is his shadow of his elbow. As he speaks, he moves his elbow and the light gets blocked. But when he brings his elbow down, the shadow then moves back over it after it comes off. That's interesting.
Something like a piece of furniture like being drug across the floor.
Shadow's back. He moves and then moves back,
who threw a
but then the
rock at
shadow
Dakota earlier
moves
tonight.
out.
Who is the spirit
That's
here
interesting.
that has that much aggression? Oh.
It's called punishment. That was across 5 channels. It's called punishment or punishment. That came across a lot of channels.
Okay, I just heard the words punishment.
Oh my God! Yo! Come up here right now, please!
This is another one of those things, like, as he was doing that, he was getting things that coincided with what they were getting. And that's what I'm talking about. When doing these things, you can't just take one thing. You have to look at each one and see how each one ties to something. It's not just, like lobster, something else, running, gym membership. Oh my God, a lobster has a gym membership and it likes to work on the treadmill. That totally ties into this hotel. Like, it doesn't make any sense because you're sweeping through actual live channels where people are talking. Music is playing. Things are happening. You can have like the devices I have that do the AM and FM radio, and you could do 2 channels, 1 AM, 1 FM, or both AM or both FM. You can do it and it'll cycle through both. And it's like, yes, you're going to pick up different channels, but the faster it sweeps, the less likely you are going to have where you're getting a full word of something talking. But if it is true that spirits can be like, hold on, pause this radio station here, and it says something, then that's more credible. But as I was saying, he was in that room, and the shadow behind him, like the light is on him, and you can see his shadow on the wall, but you also have that light spot where light was coming through the window and touching that wall in that corner piece, and he'd move his arm and you could see his shadow, but then he's not moving, and then the shadow's still moving back and forth, and you're looking over his right shoulder, and you could see like the shadow, his head shadow, but you could also see motion behind him. And it's like, I'm looking at this monitor, I'm looking at this monitor, and it's like, I can see it. If I look at this monitor, I'm seeing this. I'm seeing all the outlines and the backgrounds and everything. I'm seeing myself. And it's like, I can see it on this monitor. But I can see it on this monitor even more. And it's like, there is something there. There is something there. And it's like, I'm picking it up because I have the monitors tipped differently. So I'm seeing things like if you look at your phone at a different angle, this way you don't see anything. This way you see the reflection on there. And it's like, yeah, if you tilt your monitor just enough, you see things differently because you're seeing different pixelation colors. And it's like, that's what I'm looking at here. And it's like, there was something behind him, and then something was running at him. And that's pretty crazy because it moved and disappeared before the steps came in.
It's that we can ask yes or no.
No way.
Robert's telling us no, it wasn't him.
It's not him. So it's something else in this castle.
Which I was kind of under the impression it was this entire night.
Mm-hmm.
This is it. This is the nursery.
See, now, on the paranormal side, if you are there as an investigator and you are showing respect to the place, anything that is protecting it would see that you're not there to cause trouble, harm, vandalize. So there is no reason for it to want to scare you away. If he is there protecting the building, then he wouldn't be the one trying to scare you away. But on that flip side, if there is something else there and he is trying to protect the castle and the others that are there from it, then he would be like that middle ground trying to, protect you. And it's one of those things like, in my mind, there was something talking to him, threatening him, you're next, yada, yada, yada. But you could see something behind him. You could see something standing behind him. Then you hear the running into the room. What if the thing running into the room was him protecting you from the thing that was standing behind you, threatening you? Because you have something standing behind you. The shadow is behind you. I could see it behind you. And it was threatening you through that device. And then something rushes in and everything stopped. Everything stopped. So he doesn't want you to leave and he wasn't scaring you away. That would tell me that he ran into that room to protect you from what was threatening you. That's where I'm putting these lines, because it's like everything is just kind of running that way.
Jeez.
I think we should do some digital recorder and see if we can get any clearer answers.
Let's do it.
So this device right here can pick up spirit voices called EVPs. I am rolling on the digital recorder. We want to know more about this dark, aggressive.
If I had the money, if If I had the money, I would buy one of these super radios or super EVP devices, and I would pay somebody to modify it to increase the memory capacity, replace the microphone with a high-end microphone, and replace the speaker with a high-end speaker, and also modify the battery capacity so that you're basically just taking the brains and the components and just like, okay, now you have X amount of memory and you've got, a massive rechargeable battery, you've got better speakers. Because it's like, if I'm spending $3,000 on one of these things because somebody bought them all up and is then, putting them out there for paranormal investigators, and now they're so sought after. If I'm going to spend that much money on one, I'm going to spend an extra, $1,000 paying somebody that is a tech genius to soup it up and make it something that nobody else has.
Spirit, can you tell us who that is?
Close.
If that's you we're hearing, can you come into this room?
Hide.
Hide? Like, is it hiding? Or should we hide?
My father. My father?
And this is the proper way to do the Estes method, because they're down the stairs. You can see how far away they are. Ooh, excuse me. And they're not yelling things. Yes, the sound does reverberate and travel because it is a giant open space with stone walls. But they are not yelling. So it is something where there is no question that if he's listening to noise-canceling headphones with the static radio playing through, skipping through, then it does do that. It lends to the validity of it, because again, you're not 3 feet from the person and yelling the questions into a room, and it's like it can go through. I've got 2 sets of noise canceling headphones for when I'm listening to music and stuff, and for when I'm working with power tools and everything, and I can still hear things that are close in the general area. Like if I'm listening to it and I have them on and somebody is, within like 5 feet of me talking, I can hear the chatter behind it. Yes, it is dulled down to where it's just, but you can still, pick out specific words.
There's gotta be a... How do you feel about the state of your home at this point?
Okay, I'm looking right here. Okay. Frame by frame. I don't know if you guys are gonna be able to pick this up, but this whole wall shifts, and I don't know if that's a doorway or what, but the entire wall shifts, and it's in the there is a shape right here. I'm gonna hold on. See this one. Yeah, right? Right here. Where'd it go? That is weird. No, I'm clicking buttons and it's not even working. Yeah, see? It looks like somebody is standing right in this general area, and they're just kind of like they're look at this. You see that ripple?
This is my place.
Watch.
It's time for you to leave.
Right there. You see rippling.
How do you feel about...
You see that. Yeah, that's weird.
the state of your home at this point?
Okay, so now that I can see the cameras there, and now I can see what those lines were. The camera's focusing on him, but it was picking up the frameway of this arch. This big arch right here. Something was literally standing there, and it looked like it was rocking back and forth. And it's like something that close and that crisp of lines, even with their flashlights moving, the light source never changed on the back wall. But something was standing there, moving back and forth, rocking back and forth. That's interesting. And it's interesting to note that they didn't highlight it or notice it.
What?
Right here. This is where you could see the motions and moving. I thought this was like a doorway, and he was sitting next to a doorway. This is a stone wall. And it was like something was here, like moving back and forth.
Actually, might even be past 6 now.
Yeah. Oh man, that's good. That's some good stuff. Like I'm just calling stuff out, that I can see. I'm dual monitoring here, and like some of this stuff is really wild. And it's not like the screaming, "Oh my God, I'm possessed!" Rah rah rah, punching walls and spitting on people and shoving people to the ground, and it's like I wanted to fight you, type crazy paranormal stuff. And it's not, they're not playing it up to the camera. It's like there's a lot of stuff in there. And again, when it comes to the different methods of it, when you have something that is a radio frequency, you have to make sure that the voice that you hear going across multiple stations or frequencies is the same voice, and it's carrying on the same words and tones. Because there's a lot of people out there that have played the thing, and it would be across 3 radio stations or 4 or 5 radio stations, and it would be just different parts of words, and then they'd sit there and like try to work out what it was that they heard, and then they'd just come up with a random word. I mean, these guys, they had set words that came through multiple devices, and each one led to something else. And that's what I like about Project Fear, is that they don't go and just jump into all these different things. Sure, there are some events where one of them will, hear one word and then just go off on this rabbit hole adventure. But for the most part, when they're together working things out, they go, okay, here's 4, 5, 6 words that have happened in this event. And this tells a story. And it's like this one was a pretty damn good one. So catch you guys on the next one. See you guys later.